What if they're even if they're a dude?
Yeah. Hey, my name's Colton, and I'm the owner of Surrounded by Christ. And this is my first podcast, and I'm here with
Carter Wall. I love his shirts, and I'm one of his close friends.
So, I don't know what we're gonna get into, but I think the whole point of it is like it's gonna be easier to do things with I guess podcasts. I can talk more about stuff, and we can get more conversation out of things. Spread the gospel of Jesus better.
It's also longer format, so we can go through more in depth, have more subjects instead of what you can see through a 60-second short.
Some of those things are 3 minutes, and you know the most watched is like 15 seconds. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. Especially because half the people that like it are like my friends, so I'm like, oh wow, okay, I'm watching it.
Short video form. Whenever you're on Instagram, it's like you try to get that quick dopamine, and sometimes people, whenever it just comes to the gospel and stuff, it's like they shove it aside.
And just had to get that like in.
Yeah, they gotta be like, hey, I'm there, but
yeah, they don't care too much, but it's okay. Jesus loves you still. I love you still.
What?
Okay, so how's your day been?
Good. How about you?
I've been good. I've been sleeping in till about 9 o'clock.
2 p.m. baby.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Some slight.
I mean, I've been staying up till 5, so it's reasonable. Plus, just want to break.
5 o'clock. Yeah. I feel that.
Hey, I get more done, and I got a test done. And I was supposed to turn it in 2 days ago. I turned it in 2 days ago. So, obviously, diving right in, you are the owner of Surrounded by Christ. You've made that and said it. What kind of got you into, like, what gave you the thought of owning a brand?
So, I've always been a clothes person, is because Christian, Christian, my older brother?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He got me into the very tight jeans, a lot of rips and stuff kind of side of it. So it got me. It was good to get me to where I'm at now. And then there's this dude that used to go to my church. I looked up to him a lot, and then he left and going to one of the other churches. But it's all good. It's all love. Thank you. But yeah, he got me into the kind of baggier side of like the whole streetwear and look of everything. And he was a good follower of Jesus, a good example while I was starting to go and start really growing with my walk with God, which was good back in, I think, I was right in between freshman and sophomore year, summer, right when I started really get my relationship good and I locked in on it, which worked out great. But
it all kind of came from inspiration. I hear from your older brother, from a person in that church, and so you give credit to them. You aren't going to be one of those egotistical, be like, "Oh, I did it all."
Yeah, I mean, and it's all God. God set me on the whole line of like where I was going to go, who I was going to get. So I mean, all glory to God. It was all God, but yeah,
God did it. Surrounded by Christ.
Surrounded by Christ.
Shameless plug. You've obviously enjoyed what you're doing,
it's fun.
Yeah, well, that's good because you're spreading the gospel. And shoot, from my understanding of numbers, a remarkable year around the globe for Christianity, and it has, as chaotic as it has been, it's doing good, and you're obviously doing your sharing part, making clothing. What was it like going in potentially knowing that it could have flopped?
Honestly, I'm not one of those people that has the expectation of things going bad. I knew there were like some really bad things going into it, but knowing I had God with me, and especially knowing that now, and like really getting my relationships like getting real tight with God, and like I'm really strong with my faith, and that's my foundation of life now. It's like even if things go wrong, I know He has a good plan for everything. So that whole aspect of stuff is just, it's still like, I mean, I'm a human, so I'm still like, it's still gonna pop into my head sometimes, but it's not huge for me. Then if it all fails, I know where I'm gonna die and go. I'm gonna go to heaven, and God's gonna help me out. But I don't think it's gonna fail. To this day, I think God has a really good plan with this brand, and it's all about spreading the gospel of Jesus, which is one thing I think is really why I think it's gonna go well, because I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I have actually a good heart for the brand.
Obviously, there's a whole lot of inspiring entrepreneurs nowadays, especially our age. We're both 17, you're 16, 17.
Yeah, I'm about to be 17 in a year. Not a year, a month. A month.
But with there's a whole bunch of inspiring entrepreneurs, and
yeah,
some they'll have the heart of things, trying to help everybody out, but a whole lot want the money aspect. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna assume, because what your brand stands for, yes, the money's nice, but you have one main mission, which is spread the word.
Yeah. So, like you said, I mean, you know me pretty well. It is all about spreading the gospel. That's like I pray about it all the time to God too, to keep me, like, no matter what, keep me on it's all about spreading the gospel, and that it's all about God.
Yeah, that's good.
The money aspect, I don't spend any of the money. I think you kind of said I have spent $30. All of it goes straight back into the brand, because again, it's all about spreading the gospel. Like, it's all for Jesus. It's not for me. It's God's brand. It's all about spreading that. So I feel like it's selfish for me to take the money, which at some point I'm gonna have to start taking some of the money out and like paying myself to do it, because I print all the shirts, I make all the designs, I buy all God does everything that I like. Physically do everything. God's
basically your firm foundation. He's your rock.
Yeah.
Which is good, because a whole lot of people like to build their businesses on just a bunch of sand.
Yeah.
And we all know it's in the Bible. Good night, you're thirsty. It's in the Bible, like the man who built his house on the sand, it crumbled down, and the person that built it on his house on the rock, it stood firm in the storm. And we all know your brand. We have this lovely logo. We have the 5-pointed crown. We have the crown of thorns, even.
Yeah.
So you kind of have two different crowns, as well as the sea, which also crown.
Yeah.
So what's with all of it? Because there's got to be some sort of symbolism with everything.
So the sea, you can have it stand for whatever you want, I feel like. To you guys, yeah. But for me, it's Christ and Colton, because you know my name's Colton. And this crown of thorns is always symbolized with Jesus. So I'm keep my life surrounded by Jesus, and like, you know, surrounded by Christ. And that's what I like to keep my life, like the music I listen to, the things I watch, people I hang around, everything in life, I want to live it surrounded by Christ. And the crown, you see this like drip right here on it. You'll see the drip on it.
I've got it on here.
Yeah, and the drip is actually like for the actual blood that saved us, was the blood from a king, which is that crown of a king. So yeah, that's there it is.
You obviously have a very big passion for symbolism, and as I understand, your new drop hoodie, which recently I haven't gotten one. I need to get one.
You should. You really should.
Yeah. Also, Surrounded by Christ website. Go hang on there. You can get your shirts. You can get your hoodies.
SurroundedbyChrist.com.
What he said. Symbolism seems to be a big thing throughout your brand. You also have QR codes on the back of your shirt that you're wearing, and so going forward, are you going to keep up with like this aspect of symbolism, or are you going to kind of like do seasonal themes?
So like my next drop after this, I'm gonna do a redrop in January of the QR code one, and I think I'm gonna do it one in green too. You heard me. But so my next drop after that is gonna be a Valentine's Day drop, and I think
love in the air.
I think that the side I'm leaning more towards is symbols. Cole. I feel like you can learn a lot more and spread the gospel a lot. It'll be easy, at least to me. It'll be easier to share it better, and it helps me, and I enjoy learning things about ancient Christianity. The person I follow is, God I follow is like, and putting that into new fashion, like faith and fashion, you know, that whole thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick a lot more with symbols, but I'm gonna definitely throw in some like stuff like the QR code shirt and like little things like that, because that stuff's fun too.
Yeah, and I mean with the QR code as well, as I remember when you were doing like your drop sale. Okay, that's probably not the best term. But
when I did my drop.
Yeah, when you did your first drop at our school's fall festival, especially. You said one of your big statements and main statements, I believe, was the QR codes on the back might be the only Jesus somebody might see in that day.
Yeah, and like you have a lot of shirts that like you see this, it says Yeshua. I mean, you'll get the point behind this. You'll get the point behind that, behind my hoodie and all the other drops and Christian clothing that you'll get that'll literally take you straight to the Bible.
Yeah, because you can just pull out your camera on your phone. Everybody loves their phone now.
Yeah.
And it's honestly probably the biggest addiction that people don't admit.
Including me. I mean, shoot, I scroll on it all day when I have nothing to do.
I'm terrible with it. But, I mean, it's just as easy. Just simply go to your camera app. Just be like, hey, can I scan one of those QR codes?
Yeah. Or just don't say anything. Just like...
yeah, just be a little creep. Just... Yeah, but I mean, and so you can do that, and it'll send you straight to. Is it a different Bible verse about it, or just one?
Oh no, there's only one per thing, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's gonna be. I mean, God's worth the work, but that's like, I'm gonna have to do a lot of coding and type crap like that. So yeah, but also the idea wasn't completely mine. It was one of my friends, but I don't know if he want me to say his name, so I'm not gonna do it.
Obviously, the idea for a brand, yes, you had to build up.
Mm-hmm.
But then just a sudden spark, which a whole lot of people can just spark into things. What kind of like built up for? Well, like what happened when you had the epitome of, you know what, I'm going to do this? Because I remember first hearing that you were selling shirts and everything, I was being like, really? So like,
what made it?
Yeah, basically, like what kind of made it?
Okay, so I had the so this dude at my church, his name's Gio. Shout out. Gio, I love you. He wanted me to run graphics with him and help him run graphics for our youth. And of course, I was like, yeah, I'm down to do that, of course. And as we were doing it, one second, I just couldn't figure out my like vibe, I guess, for it, what I wanted to do, because we had different vibes for different things. So he was like, okay, then just imagine you were making something for a shirt or like clothing. And that's when I came up with the Yeshua shirt, and I made that. That was my first design ever. Thing that was in like 2022, into 2022. Wow. Maybe into 2022, entering 2023, something like that. And this dude, his name, I don't know if he'll want me to say his name, but the dude's clothing brand, it's called You Are You, and it's shaped like a cross. It's tough. It's tough. He's from my hometown, so he's from where I'm around here, so I got his shirt, and it finally gave me the inspiration, and I finally got back to him. I was like telling my mom and telling everybody like, okay, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start this brand. I didn't have a name for I had a name for it, but I didn't have the logo. I wasn't gonna do a logo at all. The Yeshua thing was gonna be on the front. That was gonna be it. And then my mom kept telling me I need to make a logo, and then this came along.
And I think she was very right about that, because it's kind of like your trademark.
Yeah, it is. It's on everything. Literally everything. It wasn't an easy start, because I went to our summer camp, and a few weeks later me and my mother were trying to do a yard sale. And not yard sale, but it was like a sale online to build up money, because she wasn't just going to give me the money to do it, to help me make money to make the shirts. But then I had $200 stolen from my wallet. $200 that were supposed to be going to the shirts. And I was like, oh, well, there we go. So, I still trusted in God, had faith in God, but I was like, I don't know what I'm about to do and how I'm about to do this. I'm asking everybody like, dude, I wouldn't do this. I don't want to do this, but dude, can I please get some money? Please, like, give me like, just, can I have $20 or something? And then the next day, this lady who owns a pretty nice place here, I'm not going to say her name, she gave me a $500 donation to literally a day after to start my brand. And she also had told me a few weeks before that she wanted to help me do that, But she just didn't respond after that. And yeah, she came through in the end. I think it was all God, and He didn't give me the money whenever she first said something about it because I was going to lose it. Which, you know, God works in mysterious ways.
And sometimes when we don't even when we think that He's not there, it's just because we've turned a blind eye, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you have your roots, you have
Yeah.
like story, and so you kind of have all these key factors. You have the brand. The progression that I've seen, you've gone from just regular shirts to now hoodies.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this as well as you're running your Instagram. When do you think you'll become a almost full-blown operation? Like multi-crew instead of doing a single-man crew. It's a single-man crew doing all this, by the way.
Yeah, I'm running my website, TikTok, Instagram, editing everything, setting everything up. Well, you help me with this, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Getting everything in, making all the shirts. My mom helps me like print the shirts. I print all the shirts myself and make all that. I think it's all up to God. That's the best I can say. I think it's all up to God. So my youth pastor was preaching. And well, our youth pastor, you know, because you go there too. So he was, I don't remember exactly what it was completely on, but it was like, I guess kind of more praying to God. And he said a really good thing that really stuck with me because it was something I was praying for. Is like, and it really helped me with this brand thing because now I fully know that I fully believe God's going to make this take off at some point. It's going to be a big part of my life and how I'm going to spread the gospel. But it's just, I'm just got to work up to it. It's going to be all in this perfect timing. But it's exactly that. It's not God like, can you do this? And like really like even though you're not saying it to him, you're like thinking, can you do this? It's God. How are you going to do it? Like, how is it going to happen? It's going to happen. How is it going to happen? And when is it going to happen? So I just like pray and be like, God, just, I'm ready. And like, when do you think, oh my gosh, God, whenever you think I'm ready, do it. But like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And so basically it's all coming from just a pure faith.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the best thing because, fun fact, I myself was an atheist and so I was huge into science. And so I could never explain like the Bible, all the what we'd like to call phenomena. Of course, now I've changed my ways, turned my life to Christ. But we'd like to call it phenomena. And so obviously the Big Bang Theory, it just completely shatters the first rule of thermodynamics, which I believe it is. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed, which in the Big Bang, something comes from nothing. And so that was definitely when I would talk to my dad about it, about evolution and everything. He would always be like, what is the uncaused cause?
Yeah.
It took me 30 minutes and I eventually had to search it up. I didn't know what it was, and it was just simple God. And so obviously faith is the thing that I see a whole lot of people, even nowadays, I'd say they're Christian, they have issues with faith. Because I've heard people will say, so I'm trusting something that I can't see or do, which I believe is kind of almost the entire deal of faith. You're turning you're turning your life to God, basically. Be like, I trust you even in my darkest moments. I trust you even if there isn't any light at the cave. I trust you, which is just faith. Yeah. Even in the mountains and valleys. Of course, you can't have mountains without valleys, valleys without mountains. But that's what I see a whole lot of people do, and that's what I see that you have done with your your brand as well. I mean, you just put faith in God and be like, you're the King of Kings, and I believe you can deliver because you've delivered the impossible. I mean, shoot, raising people from the dead, the only time I've ever heard that's from zombie movies. And we know the supernatural is next to impossible. Because, I mean, of course, we have angels, demons, and those are real, unfortunately. But also fortunately. Because if we didn't have angels and demons, we wouldn't also have humans, because the fall has to have a rise, and the rise have to have a fall. because we wouldn't have evil without good, good without evil. Because another scientific term, Einstein, every action has a opposite or equal reaction, which I believe is also the case. So you doing all this, as well as maintaining that solid, like that firm foundation. It's a song as well. Christ is my firm foundation,
the rock on which I stand.
And so that is what you've done with your brand entirely.
Yeah.
Because I know a whole lot of people would be after losing $200, especially that was supposed to go towards a rise up.
Yeah.
I know a whole lot of people would probably be like, "Oh God, this is a sign. Okay, I won't do it." But I believe you're like, "No, I'm persevering." And that lady gave you $500, which I hope down in the long run doesn't sound like much, but at the time it basically saved the entire Kickstarter.
Yeah, she more than doubled my amount that I lost.
But yeah.
So yeah, I think. I mean, it's still a struggle to this day. I mean, I'm still struggling. Like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect. I'm probably, I wouldn't say like worse than a lot of y'all, but like, not. Y'all could be way more progressed than I am, and a lot of y'all probably watching are. But like, faith it's a relationship with God, especially like literally. I think that's the aspect I'm really starting to learn a lot more is the kingdom aspect of things. Not like my church, your church. We all believe in one God. And the most important thing is the relationship. The church doesn't matter. The building church does not matter. It's the relationship and meeting together with other believers that matters. Which, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling now because that's just really what popped in my head. But yeah. Having faith is hard sometimes. I've literally sat in my room was like, God, what the freak is going on right now, dude? I don't know what's happening. I need your help. And some point he'll deliver, and you just gotta have faith and really have that good, you just really gotta have that relationship with him, which I've really grown it and know that relationship is strong.
Like, God, what is going on? We had a youth service called God, where are you?
Yep.
And in my opinion, the person that spoke that, incredible speaker, love the man. He does an incredible job.
Yeah.
He's helped me through a whole lot. And his first point, why so silent, God? I believe a whole lot of us say that when nothing happens, because as humans we want that immediate reaction. It's like when somebody's doing wrong, we correct them, we want them to go, "Oh, I was wrong, I'm sorry." That's not going to happen. We're human. We all have pride, egos. Pride, one of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
And so, and we all have it, which some degrees worse than others.
Yeah.
But there, of course, the people are gonna, of course, be all, "Well, no, he's just not working." Well, he always works.
Yeah, I can feel that pride part too a lot because I struggle with that sometimes. Like, I won't do it to someone's face because I know who God is and like what I should be doing, and like I will eventually go like be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that," and try and do better with it. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'll go back and sit in my room or be in my car or be by myself and be like, "Bro, what you think you can talk to me like that, dude? You right now, you think you can talk to me like that?" At the end of the day, that does not matter. We're all the same thing, and that's just Satan trying to work against us to make us go against each other. Which
this unity.
Yeah.
But another thing is like under the "why so silent, God," and then a few things were said that I believe is true throughout the entire.
So, the camera died, and that leaves this microphone kind of useless, and we weren't even done filming. So, gonna have to leave it off here, and my name's Colton.
I'm Carter.
I'm the owner of Surrounded by Christ, and Jesus loves you, I love you, and stay prayed up, and anything to say?
It was a blast doing this, and hopefully we can continue from where we left off when we do continue this. And this won't be the last one if we keep our plans, and share this with your friends, family as well. and all of it, blow it up, spread God's word. It's all for the love of God. Love of God. It's all for the love of God. This is all for Him. Again, we don't do this because we want an image of ourselves out there. We do this because the image nowadays, we're going to be the generation that can change this world if we put our mind to it. So, on that note, everybody have a good day. Love y'all.
Peace.
Basically, you stay with God and you can change your life.